So glad that's to see so many of us here tonight. I want to honor our city council. Yeah. I want to honor. We have a few city council members here. Come on up right now. Come on up here. And Mayor, if you watch the stairs. And we got one more here. He's sucking his ice cream down. Our city council voted unanimously to purchase Chuckanut Ridge. Let's have a hand. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you also voted unanimously on the plastic bags. The plastic bag ban in Bellingham, fighting for the sea turtles. Do we have a cool city council or what? And right here, this is Gene Knutson. Gene's been a champion for Chuckanut Ridge longer than I've been working on it, and we really appreciate it. Gene, Terry Borneman, and Terry has been a champion on this longer than I've been working on it. Also, Seth Fleetwood has also been working on this forever. And Barry Buchanan, thank you, Barry. We really appreciate it. Take a good look at these guys. Remember who voted for what. All right. Watch the stairs there. Well, we did it. We did it. We've been working on this for 31 years, if that number is correct. There's been many generations. We still have hoops to jump through. We still have to raise additional funds, but we will do that. But this is the big hoop. This is the commitment. This is where the entire community says, yes, we're going to add another giant, big, beautiful park to our big, beautiful city. And what a... Yeah. And this is a very special place, and it's not just because we live here and not just because we love it. This is one of the rare places where the Cascade Mountains, where the Sierra Madre come down and touch the ocean. So many people have helped for so many years. It's impossible to name everyone. I know some of our speakers will be thanking many of you, but a huge portion, if not everyone in this room, has worked to help in one way or another to save Chuckanut Ridge. Adults have worked on this. Young children have worked on this. It's really phenomenal. People have stuffed hundreds of flyers, turning out 500 people at a time to meetings in rooms like this. People have been designing bumper stickers and posters. People have been putting on benefit concerts, doing sound, filming videos, on and on and on, baking cookies, going to meeting after meeting after meeting, standing at the copy. We have many, many, many hours have gone into this. And that's really anything beautiful and good in a community, like a city park, like an excellent hospital, like an outstanding school, like a wonderful, any institution takes years of commitment and good people working hard, and that's why we're here tonight. So thank you and congratulations. Tonight's victory isn't just a victory for the primates. Tonight's win is a victory for the coyote and the raven and the salmon and the deer, who all share our beautiful town with us, and we're so lucky to have them. It's a victory for the whales and the clean water that's going to come out of the Chuckanuts. Bellingham, the creation of a new park in Bellingham, and we're still working on the park part, I realize that, but that's where we want to go with this. it makes the city better for everyone. And Bellingham has consistently voted yes on greenways, yes for more parks, yes for more playing fields. We love it here. We love to live here. We love to play hard. We love our parks, and we're going to keep voting yes. And as the more parks, the better. Not everyone who has worked on protecting Chuckanut Ridge is here tonight. Many of us have moved away. Some of us are no longer living. We want to remember all those people who have put this together. So now I'd like to introduce our first speaker. We have a few speakers that will say a few words on this. And 4 years ago, I called up Dan Pike, and I asked if we could get together and talk about Chuckanut Ridge. And Dan Pike very graciously came over to my house, and I was talking about habitat and this and that, and he was listening patiently, and then I stopped, and he goes, yeah, I used to jog through there in my college years. I love that place. We got to save it. And I'm not used to people talking to me that way. I was like, really? That's really cool. And it takes vision and courage and commitment and persistence to create something beautiful like a new park in a city. And Mayor Pike has shown all of those qualities in leading the city to the recent purchase of Chuckanut Ridge. I really appreciate your efforts on this. I'm also really proud of your strong stand on the coal trains. Yeah. Yes, when we're up against big forces, there's no questioning that. But when the people of a small city stand together, when the people of a region stand together, and towns all the way from here to Spokane and on to Missoula stand together, and we have the leadership from a mayor in the key town taking a strong and distinctive position. It's like, no way. That's how we can win, and we will win. And I predicted we'd be here for this celebration a few years ago at one of the hearings, and I'm going to predict today that in some time we're going to have another really big celebration when we beat the coal trains and we stop the coal port. So, thank you. But without further ado, our fearless leader on Chuckanut Ridge and the coal trains, Mayor Dan Pike.
Boy, what a night. Thank you. Thank you. You know, luck is found at the intersection of opportunity and hard work. And so I want to say, you know, some people say we got lucky, and we did. But we got lucky because there were a lot of persistent folks in this room, and as Dana said, some who are no longer here for a variety of reasons. I get to stand up here and get accolades for something that really is standing on the shoulders of an entire community, the people in this room and many, many more. As Dana said, I first became aware of Chuckanut Ridge when I lived in the barracks, which some of you are old enough to remember. And I will confess, back then I did trespass in Chuckanut Ridge on occasion, but I think the statute of limitations has gone out. And the present ownership, I think, will forgive me, and the future ownership is all of us. So I think I'm okay at this point. But it is a special place in this community. It's a place that many of us have spent a lot of wonderful times in and had a lot of wonderful experiences in. And we want to preserve that for our children and for their children and for the animals and the flora and the fauna that exist there today so they can continue being there going forward. And thanks to the City Council that stepped up, thanks to so many of you who stepped up for so many years and refused to let go. I mean, persistence, the rock in the stream thinks it's winning, but you come back after a while, the rock isn't there and the stream's still going by. So persistence is a great, great attribute. Never underestimate it. But you know, the opportunity came because there was a partnership opportunity that opened up. You know, I believe that when change happens, we have a tendency to say it's bad or it's good. And I think that what it turns out to be is what we make of it. And so when Horizon Bank failed, that was a hard thing for a lot of people in this community. A lot of people lost resources. There were people whose jobs were lost. But a new bank stepped forward and took over those assets. And I had a lot of people over the past couple of years, it's been a couple of years, year and a half anyway, since Washington Federal came forward. And one of the first things that I did is I said, we want to buy. The city wants to make an offer on Chuckanut Ridge. And their response is, we really want to sell it to you. And they do deserve applause for that. And, you know, like any new relationship, there's always sort of that trust building phase. And I think they weren't sure all the time exactly where I was because we were new to each other. And I wasn't always sure where they were. They wear ties, so that's not a big thing in Bellingham, so it always makes me a little nervous. But I've told people this before, and I want to tell it to all of you. Every step of the way where there was a conversation where I walked away having to trust what they said, when it came time to prove their integrity, it always proved rock solid. And the older I get, the more I value integrity. So let me tell you, we have a very welcome new member to this community in the Bank of Washington Federal. They have been great assets, great allies. Without them, none of us would be here tonight. And I'm not going to go and try to name a lot of other names, but there are a couple of people here that I think deserve mention because of the length and persistence of their commitment. And I'm going to start with Dr. Gibbs. So I'm going to ask something I don't usually ask. I'd like a standing ovation for Dr. Gibbs because of all the people here. It is important to honor people who do the right thing so persistently and so consistently as Dr. Gibb has done. So thank you very much. The rest of them don't need standing ovations. I just thought that was special. But also I saw Joe Yaver, President of Responsible Development here. I see Jody Bergsma here, Frank James. There's many, many people. I saw Brad Rose from the Edgemore Neighborhood Association. There's a lot of folks that I know have been doing this for a long time. Dudley Evanson is doing the sound on this, so I'll mention it so he has to edit it if he doesn't want to hear his name, but it's going to be here. I mean, Dudley and Dean. Sorry, Dudley's sitting, Dean's behind the camera. So many people to thank, but I just wanted to get a few of those names out there because they deserve to hear their names spoken in public with pride by their community. So I want to thank everyone here. Everyone has had a piece in this, and I want to thank all of you for what you've done to make this a good community. Community, you know, I worry sometimes about our country. I worry about our state because civic engagement seems to be fading at those levels. But I have no fear about the future of this community as long as we have the kind of civic engagement that made this happen tonight. So thank you all very much. Stay engaged. There's lots to do, but, you know, we won this one. Thank you all very much.